So my oldest son, gets me in the car, and we get from Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania to Toms River, New Jersey, and I think about 17 minutes. And I didn't complain about his rate of speed because I didn't know what was going on, and I was in no condition to get there myself. So turns out, after I told my dad you should have the stent put in, it's common. It's, well, maybe not common, but people do it, and it'll save your life, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
While they were doing it, a clot broke loose and gave him a massive stroke. He was unconscious for days. He lost all abilities, basically. He couldn't speak anymore. He could write a little bit, so we gave him like a dry erase board to communicate with us. And he didn't want to go to physical therapy when they tried to take him. And he changed. He lost all of his interests. And not long after, apparently, unbeknownst to people, because he was at home by then, he had another stroke that went undetected. But then people started noticing he was even kind of less there. Then I got a phone call that his kidneys are failing. By the way, this is a comedy podcast. And so we put him on dialysis, and we put him on this, and we put him on that, and this surgery and that surgery. You know, 2 years, it's like now he's a lab experiment. So I call his doctor, and I say, is there any chance of any kind of quality of life? Mm-hmm. And without hesitation, he said, absolutely not. No. And then in my head, I'm like, well, what are we doing? Anyone who has kidney dialysis, I can tell you right now, multiple times a week at that, combined with the stroke and everything else, he's just suffering. He's got nothing. He's watching the TV. He's not processing what's on it. He did recognize me, which was great. He couldn't really talk to me. He did get mad a lot more. But I personally made the decision that hospice was the answer for him, because at the facility he was at, I didn't feel he was, and I don't think anyone feels that their loved ones are getting the treatment they deserve a lot of the times, even though everyone works really, really hard. A lot of medical professionals, many of them, most of them work really, really hard. I want that to be clear, but I wanted him to be surrounded by love. So, so I'm like, Dad, you're going home. And he's all happy and everything. And then some staff member who doesn't know I haven't told him why he's going home walks in the room and goes, yeah, this guy's going to hospice.
Oh my gosh.
Now, him having put his mother on hospice knows exactly what that is. Yeah. Right. And you could kind of just see he like they told him. And I could never tell my dad that he was dying. And I kind of regret that in a way. But in a way, I'm also glad I don't have that memory. Mm-hmm. So they bring him home in this medical van. They have a hospital bed. This guy wheels him in, closes the wheelchair. He's going back out to his van. He goes to my dad, have a good day. And my dad goes like this.
Thank God.
Middle
For
finger.
those who can't see, I think
it's
know
the
what
bird.
His dad did.
Yeah. And we all laughed our asses off. And that was like the last dad moment of my dad being that was like so my dad. You know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't a vicious bird. It was just like, have a good day. Hey, here's the bird. Mm-hmm. And I think it was about, my wife is a registered nurse, so they were more than happy. The hospice folks were more than happy to let her handle a lot of it.
Totally.
Little Hootie and the Blowfish, that's got to be Jagger.
That's my alarm, right in the middle of your story.
Yeah, that lightened it up.
Well, it really does make this a comedy podcast.
And then my dad died. All right, what's up next? No.
It's funny because I feel like I could,
God.
This story,
Stupid
as
phone.
heartbreaking as it is, and your dad was such a great guy, I feel like I could either go the motivating route or I could go the funny route.
Well, real quick, you could have had the respect to have your construction worker stop hammering through the story. That'd be great.
Sorry that my roof is being redone as we speak.
Good Lord, Bob.
Roommates.
Bob the Builder's over there.
And then my father was, I couldn't even give him an ice cube.
It's better than being in a hostel and not knowing what the banging is next door.
The end of that story was 3 days went by. It was a peaceful night. He was in his hospital bed. I was sleeping on the couch next to him. My wife was on a chair on the other side. She was watching him, taking his vitals. And about 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning in May, she takes his vitals and she looks at me and she shakes her head. And then she opens up the window.
Threw him out?
His spirit. Thank you for saving me because I almost just lost it.